All right, the right place at the right time. Chrissy Fliger is with us now, as well as Kerri Schultz, a nurse practitioner. Thank you guys so much for telling your story and for coming on the show. You know, you have an experience like this, you have to wonder, like, did it change at all how you look at life or confirm certain beliefs? What did it do for each of you?
It made me realize that there is so much more to fate than you would ever know, and that taking one piece out of the equation and it would have not worked out for my favor.
Yeah. What about for you?
I think it was just reassuring that there's good people out there, and there were a lot of people that came together to help her survive, and we're just part of that. And that just that there's a lot of good people out there, despite what's going on in the news and nationally. So
we believe that.
Yeah.
It was your husband who saw the sign, reconnected you, and you guys have actually reconnected again and again, right? Tell us about the relationship that's formed.
Well, we've been talking a lot via text. We've been out to coffee a few times. We realized that we're both really funny people, that we just really love to joke around, and we have a really great sense of humor. And you know, I was happy to reconnect with someone who shared such an amazing point in my life.
And this was important to you to find her. The fact that you made a sign, it was important to you because you had a similar experience where you helped someone. And what happened?
I was at a restaurant at the end of a long day and ended up witnessing someone come falling out of their seat completely. And I went over, and she had the agonal breathing, which at the time I didn't know what agonal breathing meant, but she basically had no pulse. And so I had started to get her in the rescue position when paramedics actually did show up, but I was distraught for a long time. And it wasn't until a couple months later that the people at this restaurant told me that she came back in and wanted to know about me or how that night went.
So you didn't want to leave someone else wondering what had happened to you, so you're like, I'm going to make this sign and hope.
Yeah, I was so thrilled. I knew it was kind of a shot in the dark, but I wanted to at least, if I could, tell her that I survived, at least let her know.
Yeah. Obviously, as a nurse practitioner, this was part of what you do, right? I mean, but what would you say to anyone else about CPR and the impact it can have?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the new guidelines came out where you don't rescue breathe, and that, I mean, I did CPR for 18 minutes, which is a really long time, and she survived. So I would encourage people to continue doing CPR. I had a few people come up and say, you shouldn't be doing CPR. She's breathing, which she wasn't, and she didn't have a pulse. And so my new mantra is, I'll stop doing CPR when someone sits up and takes my hands off their chest, but until then,
can I give you a high five for that?
Until then, I'm going to do it. And just the importance of stopping and helping people. You don't have to put your mouth on somebody. You don't have to do anything more than do chest compressions, and they can survive.
Wow, that's incredible. Anything else you want us to know?
You could really make a difference in someone's life if you just stop and ask or take a look at the surroundings.
Well, Chrissy, we're so glad you're here. And just in case people are wanting to know about your medical status, how are you doing?
They don't know what caused my cardiac arrest yet. I'm going in for testing. Again, it's really unprecedented that this happens to somebody my age.
You're 34, right?
I'm 35 now.
35, okay.
But I now have an implanted defibrillator that will take the place of Kerri. So we're hoping that, you know, we can find out what's wrong.
Yeah.
But until then, you know, at least I have this safety net.
Yeah, we're glad we're so glad we have you doing what you do, and we're so glad that you're here. And thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, Chrissy,
thank you.
Kerri, I love it. It seems to go together. All right, let's get back to the rest of the team.